I never imagined walking into our apartment and seeing him there, Daniel with his stupidly smug grin, and Sophia standing like nothing had happened. My chest tightened, my heart thundering so loud I was sure the neighbors could hear. "Sophia, what is this?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. "Oh hey. I can explain," she said, stepping back slightly, guilt flashing in her eyes, or was it irritation at being caught? "Explain? You expect me to believe this is nothing?" My hand shook. Daniel smirked. "I don't think he's going to buy that." Sophia bit her lip. I didn't mean for you to find out like this." "Like this?" I repeated, each word slicing through me. "You're in our bed with him? Or home? How long?" She hesitated. "A few months." "A few months." My voice cracked. "And you didn't think I deserved the truth?" I didn't know how," she admitted softly, looking down. "I thought, maybe it would just end on its own. I never wanted to hurt you." I laughed bitterly, pacing. "You never wanted to hurt me? Sophia, I loved you. I trusted you with everything." Daniel leaned against the wall, arms crossed. "Look, it's complicated. You've got to understand." Don't talk to me." I snapped, spinning toward him. "I don't want to hear your side." Sophia's eyes filled with tears. Please just listen." "I don't want to listen." I yelled. "You've destroyed everything. Every memory, every promise, it's gone." My voice faltered, the tremor in it betraying my anger and pain. She whispered, "I still care about you." "I do." "Care? Care? You're standing here with him, Sophia? How is that caring?" My voice broke. "Do you even know what you've done?" I was weak," she admitted, and I saw the shame in her eyes. "I didn't mean for it to go this far. I felt lost." "Lost?" I muttered, pacing again. "You felt lost? And my love, my trust, my everything, you threw it away." Daniel scoffed. "Maybe it's not that simple." "Shut up," I roared. "This isn't about you. This is about her lying to me every day while smiling in my face." "I'm sorry," Sophia said, voice trembling. "I really am. I don't know what else to say." I sank onto the couch, gripping my head. "Sorry doesn't fix months of lies. Months of pretending everything's fine while you were." My throat tightened, words failing me. Maya's voice echoed in my mind even though she wasn't here. "People like this never apologize in time. Don't let them break you completely." I looked at Sophia, really looked, and for a second, a tiny flicker of my old love whispered that maybe she meant it. Then reality slammed me in the chest. All the stolen moments, the kisses, the dreams, it was all tainted now. "I trusted you," I whispered, barely audible. "I trusted you more than anyone in this world." "I know," she said softly. "And I ruined that. I can't take it back." "You can't?" I repeated, the word hollow. I stood abruptly. "You're right. You can't take it back. And I can't stay here pretending this isn't the end of us." Sophia's face crumpled. "Please, don't leave like this." I shook my head, voice cold now, stronger than the raw hurt. "I'm not leaving because of you. I'm leaving because I have to save myself. I can't breathe in a place filled with lies." I grabbed my coat, not looking back as I walked out the door. Daniel's smirk followed me down the hallway, but I didn't care. I only felt the weight of betrayal pressing down, heavy and suffocating. Once outside, the cold air hit me, numbing my burning chest. I walked aimlessly, my thoughts a chaotic storm. How could I have been so blind? How did I not see the signs? I replayed our moments, the late-night talks, the laughter, the promises. Every memory felt like a knife twisting in me. And yet, beneath the pain, something flickered, an ember of resolve. I may be broken, but I'm not done. Not yet. I found my apartment later, silent and empty. I paced back and forth, hands shaking. I can't let this define me. I have to survive. I have to be better, stronger. She thinks this destroyed me, but she has no idea. I collapsed on the couch, staring at the ceiling, trying to breathe. My phone buzzed, a message from Liam. "I'm here. Don't do anything stupid." I didn't reply. I didn't need to. He understood. I wasn't ready to talk. I was too raw, too furious, too shattered. But as the night dragged on, a single thought kept echoing. This isn't the end. This is just the beginning. And with that, I closed my eyes, letting the anger and heartbreak mingle, fueling something new. Something that wasn't just about survival anymore. Something that could grow into strength. Something that could one day become revenge. I didn't want Liam to see me like this, shattered, exposed, vulnerable. So when he stormed into my apartment, I plastered a calm mask over my face. Hey man, where the hell have you been? I called a dozen times, he said, dropping his jacket. His eyes scanned the room, suspicious. Just walking, I muttered, avoiding his gaze. He grabbed my shoulder, yanking me to face him. Don't give me that. I saw you at the wedding. I saw her. I saw him. Tell me you're handling it. I forced a laugh, bitter and hollow. Handling it? Sure, I'm fine. Totally fine. Bullshit, he spat. You're not fine. You're a mess. You're letting her ruin you. I said I'm fine, I repeated, my voice low but tense. You think pretending fixes this? Liam's face was red with anger, but his eyes were steady, loyal. You need to do something. Don't just sit there. I shook my head slowly. I can't. Not yet. I need to think. He clenched his fists. Think? You've been thinking for months, man. And what's it gotten you? Bang. Humiliation. Empty nights. I know, I admitted quietly. I know exactly what it's done. My hands twitched. But rushing in, that's not me. Not yet. He sighed, running a hand through his hair. Fine. But you can't let it fester. You're too good a person to let them win without a fight. Later that evening, my phone buzzed. Maya. I hesitated before answering. Maya? I whispered. Hey, can you talk? It's important, she said, voice low. I can't say much over text. I led her to the small cafe around the corner, shadows hiding us from prying eyes. She slid into the booth across from me, eyes darting nervously. You're not going to like what I'm about to say, she whispered. I doubt anything could make me feel worse, I said dryly, sipping my coffee though it was cold. She glanced around. Sophia, she's been with Daniel longer than you know. This isn't some recent mistake. They've been entangled while pretending nothing existed. Even before you suspected anything. I felt my stomach twist. Longer? How long? Months. Over a year, maybe more, she said quietly. I didn't want to tell you. But you need to know. There are things even she hasn't admitted to herself. I slammed my hand on the table. A year? A year of lies? Every touch, every word she gave me, fake? Maya flinched at my volume. I'm sorry. I know this is brutal. But I couldn't let you live blind. You deserve to see the truth. My fists clenched under the table. Deserve? I don't know if I want to deserve anything anymore. You're better than her, better than Daniel, she said firmly. Don't let them drag you down. I laughed bitterly, shaking my head. Better, yes. But does better get justice? Does better make them regret every second? Maybe it does in ways you haven't seen yet, she said. But don't act recklessly. Wait, watch, plan. You'll see the cracks before they even realize they exist. Her words echoed in my mind long after I left the cafe. Walking home, my hands trembled, not from cold, but from the fury coiling inside me. They think I'm weak. They think they won. But they hadn't won. Not yet. Not really. I replayed every interaction with Sophia, every laugh, every kiss, every whispered promise. Each memory felt poison now, but beneath the betrayal, a fire sparked. Anger that didn't consume me but sharpened me. I poured another cup of coffee at home, pacing. If I do this right, carefully, strategically, they'll pay. Not just for the betrayal but for every sleepless night, every doubt, every tear I shed. My phone buzzed again. Liam. You okay? His text read. I typed back, I'll be better. Just need time. I stared at the message, then deleted it. I didn't need anyone to know my plan yet. Not Liam. Not Maya. Not Sophia. That night I couldn't sleep. I watched the ceiling, imagining the steps I'd take, the ways I'd rise while they stumbled. Anger, humiliation, and determination twisted together. They think they broke me. They think I'm powerless. But they don't know, not yet. Hands shaking, I whispered into the dark. They think I'm weak. They think they won. But beneath the whispered words, beneath the simmering anger, I felt it, the first real spark of something dangerous and exhilarating. Revenge was no longer a concept. It was forming, clear and precise, in the back of my mind. And soon, it will be unstoppable. I walked into the office with a knot in my stomach, expecting pity, whispers, maybe even judgment. Instead, Mr. Hale was waiting, his usual stern expression softer than usual. Sit down, he said, motioning to the chair across from his desk. I hesitated. Sir? He leaned back, hands folded. I hear things. About Daniel. About what's been happening. I clenched my fists beneath the table. I'm not sure I... Don't start with excuses, he interrupted gently. I've seen your work. I've seen your dedication. That counts for more than office gossip. I blinked, surprised. You're not going to treat me like I've failed? Failed? He chuckled, a low, rumbling sound. You've done better than most, even under difficult circumstances. That's why I'm offering you something new. I froze. New? Yes. He leaned forward, eyes sharp now. I want you to lead the Kenway project. Daniel was slated for it, but I believe you're the right choice. You've shown integrity, diligence, and focus. My heart skipped. I don't know what to say. Say you'll take it, he replied firmly. I don't need words. I need action. Are you in or out? I swallowed hard. I'm in. I'll take it, Mr. Hale. Thank you. He nodded. Good. Just remember, success isn't about vengeance. It's about proving your own worth. Focus on that and everything else will fall into place. I left his office feeling lighter but unsettled. The whispers in the hall had shifted. People looked at me differently, curious, respectful. I overheard someone say, I heard Daniel messed up again. Hale's putting him on probation. A small smirk crept onto my face. Karma maybe? Not mine to deliver, but satisfying nonetheless. Later Liam called. Talk to me. How was your first day back? His voice was sharp but friendly. I ran a hand through my hair. Unbelievable. Hale, he offered me the Kenway project. There was silence on the other end for a moment, then a low whistle. Finally. About time someone recognized your talent. That's huge, man. I know, I said, voice tight. But it's weird. I should feel relief, happiness, but there's this, I hesitated, guilt. Like I'm enjoying Daniel's misfortune. Don't confuse satisfaction with guilt, Liam said firmly. You're not ruining him, you're earning what's yours. That's different. I nodded even though he couldn't see me. Yeah, I guess. I can't shake the fear that I'll become like them. Angry, vindictive, obsessed. You won't, he said. You've got a brain, heart, and conscience. Channel that energy, man. Build, don't destroy. That's the only revenge that matters. I hung up, staring out the office window at the city below. Neon lights reflected off rain-soaked streets, making them shimmer like glass. My reflection stared back at me, a mixture of determination and exhaustion. That night I stayed late. Late enough for the empty office to echo with my footsteps. I reviewed every detail of the Kenway project, taking meticulous notes, planning each phase. Focus replaced the chaos in my mind. Every spreadsheet, every timeline, every client note became armor against the hurt, betrayal, and humiliation I'd endured. Ava, a quiet but sharp coworker, noticed my hours. You're working late again, she said, concern hiding behind a small smile. I have to, I replied. I need to prove something. To myself more than anyone. Just don't burn out, she warned gently. Your talent speaks louder than your anger ever could. I nodded, grateful for her presence. She didn't pity me. She didn't lecture. She simply reminded me who I was beneath the hurt. Later, in the stillness of my apartment, I sat on the balcony, staring at the city lights blinking like distant stars. Liam's words echoed, Maya's warnings lingered, Mr. Hale's trust grounded me. I whispered into the night, voice low but firm, maybe I don't need revenge. Maybe I just need to rise higher than they ever thought I could. And for the first time since that night of betrayal, I felt a flicker of something powerful, hope, purpose, and a quiet certainty that the ashes of my old life were fertile ground for something stronger, better, unstoppable. The fire wasn't for revenge anymore. It was for me. I met Maya at the small cafe on the corner, the one tucked away from the city's chaos. She slid into the seat opposite me, eyes cautious. You look calmer, she said, stirring her coffee slowly. But I know better. I forced a smile. Calmer on the outside. Inside, a storm. She leaned in, lowering her voice. You need to hear this. Sophia and Daniel, they're not as perfect as you think. Not even close. I raised an eyebrow. Go on. They argue. Constantly. Little things, big things, jealousy, mistrust. Sophia keeps asking about you, almost like she expected you to ruin everything or expose them. I clenched my fist under the table. Satisfaction tickled at the edge of my conscience, but I pushed it away. I don't want to be the one to intervene. That's not my plan. Maya nodded. I know. I just thought you should know. Daniel's showing his true colors. He's controlling, manipulative, and Sophia, she's fragile. Really fragile. I leaned back, taking a deep breath. Memories of Sophia flashed across my mind. Her smile, her laughter, the moments I'd thought were ours. Each memory felt like a knife pressed against my chest, sharp but familiar. So, I said quietly, you're saying I watch, not act? Exactly, Maya replied. Let karma unfold. Let them face the consequences of their choices. I nodded slowly. It's tempting, isn't it? I admitted, voice low. To take a hand in their downfall. Maya's eyes met mine. It's human. But you've grown. You're stronger than that. Don't let anger drive you back into pain. I looked out the window, the rain drizzling down the glass like tears the city didn't shed for me. It's exhausting though. Caring but holding back. Wanting to see them falter, yet knowing I can't touch a thing. She reached out, briefly touching my hand. That restraint is power. You're already winning by staying true to yourself. I let out a bitter laugh. Winning? It feels strange when you still feel something for them. Something I know I shouldn't. Maya tilted her head. Feelings are complicated. They don't disappear just because someone betrayed you. But you control your choices. That's what matters. I nodded, staring at the tiny ripples forming in my coffee. Daniel's controlling, you said. How bad is it? Bad, she admitted. He micromanages, gaslights her, even publicly humiliates her sometimes. Sophia's emotional state is fragile. She's realizing she might have lost more than she gained. A flicker of satisfaction stirred inside me, but I swallowed it down. And Sophia? She's scared. Guilty, anxious, but too proud to admit it. Maya's voice softened. She's not a villain. Just someone who made mistakes, and now she's trapped in a life of her own making. I clenched my teeth. It doesn't make it hurt less, does it? No. It won't. But it will fade. You've already started moving past it. I stared at her, realizing the truth in her words. My heart ached, yes, but the sharp edges of betrayal were dulling. I was no longer the naive, broken man she and Daniel had counted on. Maya finished her coffee and stood. I need to go. But remember, watch, don't touch. And guard yourself. That's all you can do. I nodded, silent. Once she left, I remained at the table watching the rain fall, lost in thought. Memories of Sophia continued to surface. Her hand brushing mine, the late-night talks, her laugh. Each recollection brought a subtle pain, but I let it wash over me without clinging. I can't go back, I whispered to myself. I won't interfere. But I won't pretend I'm not watching either. Even as the city blurred through the glass, I felt a shift inside me. Pain remained, yes, but it was no longer the burning, consuming type. It was a cold, calculated awareness. Observation without action. Detachment without indifference. I recalled Daniel's arrogance, Sophia's hesitations, the lies they told themselves to justify their choices. And I knew one thing for certain, I would not be a part of their story anymore. Not as a victim, not as an enabler. Let them crumble, I murmured, voice low but steady. If they fall, it won't be because of me. But I won't pretend I'm not watching. For the first time, I felt a subtle peace beneath the ache. Watching from a distance wasn't easy, but it was mine to control. I had reclaimed a fragment of myself with every measured step. Karma would do its work, I only needed to keep building mine. As I left the cafe, the wet streets reflecting neon signs, I felt a quiet determination settle over me. My heart had scars, but it also had strength. The temptation to meddle would always whisper, but my resolve, my restraint, was louder. And I knew without doubt that this was just the beginning of my rise. I arrived at the office, the morning sun cutting through the glass walls, casting streaks of light across the floor. Mr. Hale was already waiting outside the meeting room, his expression unreadable. "Morning," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "Sit down," he replied, motioning toward the conference table. "I've been reviewing your project proposal." I sat, my hands resting on the table. I hope it meets your expectations." He smiled faintly. "It exceeds them. You've led the team well. Your planning, your oversight, it's impressive." A rush of satisfaction hit me, mingled with disbelief. "Thank you, sir. I wanted to do my best." "You did," he said firmly. "Daniel might have aimed for this, but he lacked discipline. You showed integrity, focus, and results. That matters more than charm or politics." I nodded slowly. Inside, pride swelled. It wasn't revenge, not yet. It was validation. Real, earned validation. Later, as the team congratulated me, Ava approached quietly. "You handled that wonderfully," she said, her voice warm. "I noticed the way you stayed calm even under pressure." I shook my head, trying to downplay it. "I've had practice in staying calm, under worse circumstances." She smiled, her eyes softening. "I know. And it shows." Different now. Stronger. Not bitter, not reckless. Just capable. Her words lingered longer than I expected. Capable, I repeated quietly. I never felt that before. Not fully. You don't need revenge to feel that, she said gently. You've rebuilt yourself from pieces that were broken. That's something no one can take from you. I glanced around, aware of the murmurs about Sophia and Daniel. Maya had texted me earlier. Sophia regrets everything but her pride won't let her apologize. Daniel's arrogance is catching up with him. I read the message silently, my lips tightening. Satisfaction tried to rise but I pushed it down. That wasn't my business anymore. My business was here, with me, with my work, with the life I was constructing. Ava leaned closer. You're not carrying the past anymore, are you? I'm lighter, I admitted. The anger still flickers but I'm learning it doesn't define me. Not now. She nodded. Good. Focus on building. Not on tearing others down. You'll be surprised how far that will take you. The afternoon dragged on, filled with meetings and project adjustments. Each challenge felt different now, manageable, even stimulating. I noticed the small victories. A team member implementing a suggestion I made, a report completed ahead of schedule, a client praising the clarity of our presentation. Each was a brick in my foundation, building me higher, stronger, unshakable. During a short break, Ava caught up with me again. You've changed, she said softly. I can see it not just in how you work but how you carry yourself. I suppose I have, I replied. The betrayal, it taught me something harsh. But I realized surviving wasn't enough. I had to grow beyond it. She smiled, a subtle encouragement. Growth looks good on you. And the best part? You're choosing it consciously. You're not just reacting anymore. Her words struck me deeply. I realized I hadn't noticed how often I had been reacting to pain, to betrayal, to humiliation. Now I was acting for myself, for my life, not as a response to anyone else. The office buzzed around me but my mind felt clear. I began planning future projects, mapping steps for personal growth, considering professional boundaries I'd never set before. Liam's advice echoed, success is the best form of revenge. But now I understood it differently. Revenge wasn't the goal, it was empowerment, building myself higher than any betrayal could touch. Later, as the sun began to dip, painting the sky outside the office windows in amber, Ava lingered behind. Do you feel different? She asked quietly. I do, I admitted, a small smile tugging at my lips. I feel free. Not because of them, not because of Sophia or Daniel, but because of me. My choices. My boundaries. My growth. She nodded, satisfied. Then keep it. Don't let anyone's mistakes or regrets pull you back. This is yours. I exhaled, feeling the tension of months finally release. The anger, the heartbreak, the sleepless nights, they were behind me. I had survived, yes, but more importantly, I had rebuilt. Piece by piece, decision by decision, moment by moment. As the office emptied and I packed my things, I realized something profound. The past had shaped me, but it did not control me. The whispers, the rumors, the reminders of betrayal, they were distant echoes now, not commands. Ava waved goodbye as she left. I smiled genuinely for the first time in a long time. Alone, I lingered at my desk, letting the quiet wrap around me. For the first time, I whispered to myself, voice firm, steady, I'm not surviving. I'm living. And for the first time it wasn't just a thought. It was a promise. My phone buzzed again. I glanced at the screen. Sophia, can we talk? I stared at it, thumb hovering over the reply button, heart tightening. Not today. Not now. I tossed the phone onto the couch and ran a hand through my hair. I can't do this, I muttered to myself. Not yet. Not ever, maybe. Liam's message popped up, don't go back. Even for closure. I sighed, feeling the weight of his blunt honesty. I knew he was right, but the curiosity, the lingering hurt, it gnawed at me. Later Maya called. I know it's hard, but you need to hear me, she said, her voice low, urgent. Sophia's, her life is falling apart. Daniel's debts, constant fights, rumors that he's cheating. She's desperate. I don't care about that, I said, though my voice trembled. I care about not letting her ruin me again. Maya was silent for a moment. You can protect yourself without running. Listen carefully, but don't let her pull you back into old patterns. You've grown. I leaned back, staring at the ceiling, memories of betrayal flickering like old film. The way she lied, the excuses, the way Daniel laughed when I wasn't around. I felt the old sting, but it was tempered now with clarity. Ava's voice came softly over the phone later that evening. You don't need her apology to move forward, she said. You've built something stronger than anger. Let her words hit the floor if they come. You don't have to catch them. I keep thinking I need closure, I admitted, but every time I imagine it I feel like I'll be that same, broken version of me. No, she said gently. You'll be yourself, stronger, calmer. You'll listen then let it go. You'll survive the call without it controlling you. That night sleep avoided me. My apartment felt too quiet, every creak amplified. I paced, running scenarios in my head. What if I yelled? What if I laughed? What if I cried? But a deeper voice inside whispered, you don't need to react. You control this now. My phone buzzed again. Sophia, please just one call. I ignored it. And then again. And again. Each ping tightened something in my chest. I thought of Liam's words, of Ava's calm reassurance, of Maya's warnings. My thumb hovered over the answer button. I didn't want closure. I wanted control, mastery over the chaos she left behind. Finally, after what felt like hours, the phone rang. I swallowed, hands trembling, but I answered. Sophia? I asked, my voice steady, quieter than I expected. I need to say something, she began, voice trembling. Daniel, he ruined everything. He's left me. I don't know what to do. I thought you'd come back. I thought you'd... Stop, I said firmly, cutting her off. I'm listening. Not judging. Not reacting. Just listening. Her breaths were ragged. I never meant to hurt you. I know, I said, keeping my tone even. You did. But I'm not going back to that place. I've healed. I've rebuilt. I'm sorry, she whispered almost brokenly. I never thought it would. I thought I could fix it, or maybe that you would forgive me. You needed forgiveness from me, I said calmly, but forgiveness isn't mine to give in the way you think. You don't get to pull me back into the past. Pause. Her sobbing echoed faintly over the line. I felt the old ache, the longing, but it was muted now. Strength replaced desperation. I was not hers to command. I hope you find peace, I said finally, my voice steady, firm, compassionate. But I'm not coming back. A soft, almost imperceptible gasp. I understand. I hung up. My hands shook, but relief surged through me like warm water. The storm of guilt, anger, confusion, all of it dissipated. I sat in the dark, letting the silence settle. For the first time, the past didn't feel like chains. I replayed our conversation in my mind. No yelling. No pleading. No tears dragging me backward. Just control. Just calm. Just clarity. Maya's words echoed, you've grown. You've built yourself. And Ava's gentle reminder, you survive without catching the falling pieces. Liam's blunt truth rang last, don't go back. I realized finally that the strength wasn't in answering her calls or reading her messages. The strength was in letting her talk and letting it end on my terms. My terms. My peace. My life. I sank onto the couch, staring at the ceiling. The phone lay silent beside me, the world outside dark but still alive. My heartbeat slowed, steady. I felt power, yes, but not in revenge. Power in survival, in clarity, in choosing my own path. The anger was still there, a flicker at the edges of my consciousness, but it no longer ruled me. The heartbreak remained, but as a lesson, not a chain. I whispered to the empty room, a quiet declaration, I hope you find peace. But I'm not coming back. And with that, I exhaled deeply, finally free from the pull of the past, ready to face tomorrow on my own terms. My phone buzzed again. I glanced at the screen. Sophia, can we talk? I stared at it, thumb hovering over the reply button, heart tightening. Not today. Not now. I tossed the phone onto the couch and ran a hand through my hair. I can't do this, I muttered to myself. Not yet. Not ever, maybe. Liam's message popped up, don't go back. Even for closure. I sighed, feeling the weight of his blunt honesty. I knew he was right, but the curiosity, the lingering hurt, it gnawed at me. Later Maya called. I know it's hard, but you need to hear me, she said, her voice low, urgent. Sophia's, her life is falling apart. Daniel's debts, constant fights, rumors that he's cheating. She's desperate. I don't care about that, I said, though my voice trembled. I care about not letting her ruin me again. Maya was silent for a moment. You can protect yourself without running. Listen carefully, but don't let her pull you back into old patterns. You've grown. I leaned back, staring at the ceiling, memories of betrayal flickering like old film. The way she lied, the excuses, the way Daniel laughed when I wasn't around. I felt the old sting, but it was tempered now with clarity. Ava's voice came softly over the phone later that evening. "You don't need her apology to move forward," she said. "You've built something stronger than anger. Let her words hit the floor if they come. You don't have to catch them." "I keep thinking I need closure," I admitted, "but every time I imagine it I feel like I'll be that same, broken version of me." "No," she said gently. "You'll be yourself, stronger, calmer. You'll listen then let it go. You'll survive the call without it controlling you." That night sleep avoided me. My apartment felt too quiet, every creak amplified. I paced, running scenarios in my head. What if I yelled? What if I laughed? What if I cried? But a deeper voice inside whispered, "You don't need to react. You control this now." My phone buzzed again. "Sophia, please just one call." I ignored it. And then again. And again. Each ping tightened something in my chest. I thought of Liam's words, of Ava's calm reassurance, of Maya's warnings. My thumb hovered over the answer button. I didn't want closure. I wanted control, mastery over the chaos she left behind. Finally, after what felt like hours, the phone rang. I swallowed, hands trembling, but I answered. "Sophia?" I asked, my voice steady, quieter than I expected. I need to say something," she began, voice trembling. "Daniel, he ruined everything. He's left me. I don't know what to do. I thought you'd come back. I thought you'd—" "Stop," I said firmly, cutting her off. "I'm listening. Not judging. Not reacting. Just listening." Her breaths were ragged. I never meant to hurt you." "I know," I said, keeping my tone even. "You did. But I'm not going back to that place. I've healed. I've rebuilt." "I'm sorry," she whispered almost brokenly. "I never thought it would. I thought I could fix it, or maybe that you would forgive me." "You needed forgiveness from me," I said calmly, "but forgiveness isn't mine to give in the way you think. You don't get to pull me back into the past." Pause. Her sobbing echoed faintly over the line. I felt the old ache, the longing, but it was muted now. Strength replaced desperation. I was not hers to command. "I hope you find peace," I said finally, my voice steady, firm, compassionate. "But I'm not coming back." A soft, almost imperceptible gasp. I understand." I hung up. My hands shook, but relief surged through me like warm water. The storm of guilt, anger, confusion, all of it dissipated. I sat in the dark, letting the silence settle. For the first time, the past didn't feel like chains. I replayed our conversation in my mind. No yelling. No pleading. No tears dragging me backward. Just control. Just calm. Just clarity. Maya's words echoed, "You've grown. You've built yourself." And Ava's gentle reminder, "You survive without catching the falling pieces." Liam's blunt truth rang last, "Don't go back." I realized finally that the strength wasn't in answering her calls or reading her messages. The strength was in letting her talk and letting it end on my terms. My terms. My peace. My life. I sank onto the couch, staring at the ceiling. The phone lay silent beside me, the world outside dark but still alive. My heartbeat slowed, steady. I felt power, yes, but not in revenge. Power in survival, in clarity, in choosing my own path. The anger was still there, a flicker at the edges of my consciousness, but it no longer ruled me. The heartbreak remained, but as a lesson, not a chain. I whispered to the empty room, a quiet declaration, "I hope you find peace. But I'm not coming back." And with that, I exhaled deeply, finally free from the pull of the past, ready to face tomorrow on my own terms. I noticed her first because of the sudden stillness around the front entrance. Sophia stood there, coat wrapped tight, her hair slightly messy, and eyes that had once held so much warmth now flickered with fear and shame. My first instinct was to look away, but curiosity rooted me to the spot. I need to talk to you," she said, voice trembling. I remained still, calm, letting the words hang between us. "You do." My tone was neutral, controlled. "Yes," she admitted, stepping closer. I need to explain. Daniel, he ruined everything. I thought you'd come back. I thought you would forgive me, maybe even take me back." I didn't flinch. I didn't step forward. I just watched her, processing, waiting. "And now?" I asked softly. "Now," she swallowed hard. "Now I realize how wrong I was. I didn't see the damage. Not just to me but to you. I thought I could fix it, but he controlled everything. I feel worthless." The words hit differently this time. I remembered the betrayal, the nights of despair, the endless questioning of my own judgment. And yet, I felt no panic, no desperation. Only clarity. I see, I said evenly. I've listened to these words before in different forms. But hearing them from you, it matters differently now. I wanted you to hate me, she admitted, voice barely above a whisper. I don't know, maybe for you to scream, to yell, to break. But I think you've grown past that. I allowed a faint, almost imperceptible nod. I have. She looked up at me, searching my eyes. Do you forgive me? I considered the question carefully. Forgiveness. It felt unnecessary now. It's not about forgiveness anymore, I said. You broke me. That is true. But I healed without you. I rebuilt myself while you were lost in your mistakes. Her lips parted, but she didn't speak. The rawness in her eyes was enough. You assumed I'd return, I continued, tone steady, almost soft. You assumed I'd be waiting at the edge of your chaos. But I'm not. I never will be. I've lived through the pain, through the betrayal. And I'm no longer yours to manipulate, or to comfort. I never wanted to hurt you like this, she whispered. I thought I was doing what I needed to survive. I thought you'd understand. I understand, I replied calmly. I understand the fear, the mistakes, the selfishness. But understanding doesn't mean I'm coming back. It doesn't erase the choices you made. And it doesn't make me yours again. She took a shaky breath, eyes glistening with tears. I wanted to say it, to tell you. I thought, maybe this would change something. It changes nothing for me, I said, watching her struggle with the truth. It changes everything for you if you truly feel it. Accept it. Learn from it. Move forward. That's your task now. Her shoulders slumped. The weight of her confession finally pressing down. I don't deserve anything, she said, voice broken. No, I said softly, almost gently. You don't. Not from me. But maybe someday you'll find your own peace. Not through apologies, not through me, but through yourself. She blinked, swallowing hard, trying to form words that wouldn't come. Then finally she turned and walked away, each step heavier than the last. Tears streaked her cheeks, but I didn't move. I let her leave. I let the moment exist exactly as it was, her heartbreak, my calm. I felt the quiet strength settle in me, solid and unshakable. I was no longer the man broken by betrayal. I was the man who had faced it, endured it, and grown beyond it. Liam's voice echoed in my mind, you've survived. You're stronger. Ava's gentle reminders too, you don't need anyone to validate your strength. And Maya's quiet wisdom, let them speak their truth. Your peace is yours alone. I exhaled slowly, watching her silhouette disappear into the distance. There was a strange satisfaction, not in seeing her fall, not in holding power over her, but in knowing I had chosen my own path, not hers. I stepped back into my workplace, the buzz of life around me no longer chaotic but steady, familiar. My heartbeat was calm even. I was free. Free from the chains of old emotions, free from the weight of revenge, free from the shadow of the past. And as I walked through the office, passing familiar faces and subtle glances from Liam and Ava, I felt a sense of completeness I hadn't known was possible. Closure didn't come from anger or malice. It came from control, from composure, from living fully in the present without letting the past dictate the future. I thought of Sophia one last time, not with longing, not with bitterness, but with quiet clarity. You broke me, I whispered to myself, but I healed without you. And I moved forward, each step lighter than the last, fully in control, fully alive, and fully mine.